Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Shall we do another Conor Ben video? Oh, you're not losing the will to live, are you? 'Cause I said to myself, why do I feel the need to keep doing these Conor Ben videos about this whole drug thing? And to be honest with you, it's because every time I hear some spin from Ben's team or some presumption or some, mealy mouth attempt um, to sort of obscure the main issue, I immediately think, no, I can't have that. I can't have that. I've got to say something. And today, Ben was provisionally suspended by UKAD. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it means that he failed tests, and they're saying you're guilty. You failed tests. That's evidence. You're guilty. But the thing that really riled me was when Ben was queried about this, he said, this isn't even about my innocence anymore. It's all politics. No, Conor, it isn't all politics, mate. I'm sorry, but it's not. Okay, it's about you failing two tests. And you can, unless you have got, now, by the way, I saw a clip. I don't listen to TalkSport, but I do watch some of the clips that are on YouTube of, Simon Jordan and others talking. And Simon Jordan made a very good point. He said, look, we're not saying that you intentionally ingested that illegal substance. We're saying it was in your system. You have failed two tests. That's evidence. You now have to prove your innocence because the prosecution, if you like, have this piece of evidence. And Ben, of course, with his 270-page document, which he won't even show to the British Boxing Board of Control, apparently he's now in touch with UKAD. And I think Eddie Hearn made some remark about that Ben is actually showing UKAD the dossier, as it's been called. But all of this to me is almost like a kind of a moot point, because to me he's guilty. Okay, and unless he categorically proves without a shadow of doubt that the two tests were contaminated and there were irregularities, and you've got to prove this, which is very difficult to do. It's just hearsay, or not even hearsay. It's just a statement from somebody who wants to believe what he wants to believe and wants the public to go with him. And I think this is why I keep doing these videos, because I'm so annoyed when Ben seems to be missing the point entirely. He's just not getting it. He's already refused to hand over the dossier to the board. At least he's now speaking to UKAD, supposedly. So, but I don't see what that 270-page dossier can contain. It's more Ben's attitude. He doesn't want that 2-year ban, which would be immediately implemented. So he's fighting his corner, but without any weapons, unless what the contents of this dossier become apparent to all. As far as I'm concerned, he's guilty. Unfortunately, you had it in your system. I know you claim it wasn't never in there. Conor Ben has said, but with the WBC ruling, they reinstated him. He said, no. They said it was in my system. It was never in my system. Never. So in other words, the two tests were erroneous. The two tests were faulty. There was some sort of contamination. The results are inaccurate. You have to prove this. It's not enough to say, I'm innocent, to shout it from the rooftops and no, that they're all out to get me. And my dad, ripped up his license 30 years ago and now they're coming for me. The board are all bigots. They're all out for Conor Ben and they've never liked me. And this is real, victim mentality, conspiracy theorist nonsense. And God knows there's enough conspiracy theorist guff in the world, especially via the internet, for all sorts of subjects. This is just buying into that type of mentality. It's the sort of crap that, Alex Jones would have come out with, or David Icke, or one of these other lunatics that belongs in a psychiatric ward. Conor Ben is doing himself a colossal disservice. What he should say is, look, I failed two tests. I didn't knowingly ingest anything. It's in there. I accept that. I'm really sorry. I'll take it on the chin. I'll take a 2-year ban. I know it, 2-year ban. The kid's 26, so that takes him up to 28. So he could still tick over, stay in the gym, learn some stuff, and 2 years would go by. Some fighters don't fight for a whole year. So even though it's by no means ideal, it stopped the momentum of his career. Nevertheless, it's about damage limitation. It's not about saying I am innocent when you can't prove you're innocent, you know. Yeah. So anyway, I just think the whole thing is, I know it's dragging out. And also, just one other thing. I've heard people say, well, you know, why are they all picking on Conor Ben? What about all the other people? The one that a lot of people have mentioned is Zolane Tete failing a test for steroids, I think it was, or a steroid. And of course, if you'd seen him against Jason Cunningham, he knocked Cunningham flat. It was a bad knockout, and Cunningham was concussed afterwards. And then Tete, he tested positive. Now, to me, first of all, that fight should be a no contest. Tete, I think he's received a ban already. But he's another one who's saying, well, I didn't know. I didn't know it was in my system. That may be true, but unfortunately, you hire a team of nutritionists, of dietitians. You hire a whole team of people to watch out for you, because no individual fighter is particularly knowledgeable about this stuff. They may have some insight, they may have some knowledge, but you need the experts to actually help you navigate your way through that minefield of potential positive tests. You know, if you piss hot over something, it isn't just the fighter's fault. The buck stops with the fighter ultimately, because he's got it in his system. But his team, who he's hired to help him avoid that sort of thing, they should be punished too. I've been saying this from the word go. And whether it's Tete, Ben, Amir Khan, I don't care who it is, they should all get a rap on the knuckles. They should all get a ban of 2 years or whatever, 4 years. I don't know. You know, I don't have any ultimate answers to this. All I know is I hate PEDs. I don't believe people should be allowed to take whatever they want. There is a train of thought again that says, well, let them take what they want, then that'll even the playing field up. That's a lot of BS. I really do. Because you're talking about boxing, which is dangerous enough anyway. And if you're putting all sorts of chemicals into people, number one, it's no longer about talent. It's about how much someone can juice, you know, to the point where they're almost superhuman, or they're not behaving like a human being should. And furthermore, you're talking about fighters potentially being killed in a game where they are sometimes killed anyway. You know, for what? For our entertainment? No, I remain anti-PEDs. I don't care who it is. I'm picking on the Conor Ben thing because at least if you look at, say, Amir Khan, I know he's retired. It was a different situation. He took it on the chin. He accepted his 2-year ban. But also, that piss test came after the fight. And also, he went through a proper procedure with the board and everything, which is why he got a 2-year ban, not a 4-year ban. With the Conor Ben thing, it was before the fight with Eubank. In fact, 2 failed tests before the fight. So there is a difference. But I remain anti-PEDs, okay? And I'm not going to roll over on this subject. So yes, I will keep talking about this issue, because if you give a damn about boxing and boxers, if you want boxing to actually flourish, if you want it to, I mean, I know it's the black sheep of the sporting family anyway, but once it becomes, you know, soaked in PEDs, which you can argue it already is, but we've got to clean up this sport. If we love this sport, we got to clean it up, you know, before people start really getting killed. And boxing loses absolutely all its credibility. God knows it shoots itself in the foot enough. But we have to, if we care about boxing, and more to the point, if we care about boxers, we've got to clean the sport up. We've got to keep banging the drum on this issue. So yeah, that's my spiel for today. Thanks for listening. Leave your comments below. I'm sure you've got plenty to say on this subject, even though it's dragging out. And yeah, spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Please do. Please go out there, tell all your mates. Subscribe to Joe Stunner Boxing. We want to build the channel up, and hit the like button. That always helps as well. Much appreciated. We'll speak again soon. Bye for now.